So you just tap it on and a new sculpted eye look is unlocked. Mature eyes but love the smoky look. Could this be the game-changing product we've all been waiting for? Because we don't really want big palettes when we're on the go in the morning in a rush. We want one and done, and we want to use just fingers. This is what the Violette FR Plume eyeshadows promise. So let's do a full face of Violette and see if it's what we've all been waiting for. So the eyeshadows are sold singularly, £33 for each one. They come in a little individual plastic container, which is a sculptural shape. The whole collection, everything that Violette does is very sort of French art inspired. And she has this nod to the Yves Klein blue that she uses as her brand colour in the casing. And then the individual container is absolutely beautiful. They're set in a gold pan, which obviously makes any eyeshadow colour looks absolutely beautiful. And the wonderful thing about this, if you are not very confident with eyeshadow, is that it's a cream to powder formula. So it isn't, you're not going to get any fallout at all from it. So you can see there, if I just put my finger in it, it's incredibly smooth. And it just gives you, this first colour is called Charbon Fume, which is smoked charcoal. It's a very, very deep brown, dark grey colour that looks exactly like when you get charcoal on your skin, right? It's not ever black, it's always kind of leaning on the brown. And this I thought I would get because I absolutely love smoky eyes, so I couldn't resist this colour. Second colour I got was a colour called Bronze d'Or, bronze gold. Again, this one has, it's one of, so they're all described as veils of colour, but the some are matte and some are shimmer. This is one of the shimmers. So this bronze gold colour has, as you can see, I'll just swatch it, it has gold and pink mica in it, from what I can see. And it just creates a lovely, it's very neutral as a shade, and I thought that looked absolutely stunning as a one and done. And the third colour that I picked up is called Bois brulee, which is burnt wood. This again is, so this is one of the matte veils. So let me just swatch this for you. So these are all nuances, obviously, of brown, which she has got some more exciting colours. She has some lovely orchid colours. She has a really nice green. But I just wanted to start with the neutrals first of all, because I thought as an everyday one and done, those are the colours that I'm probably going to use the most. If I had blue eyes, she has a colour called Leo Cafe. It's a lot warmer of a brown and it looks lovely on blue eyes. But I've kept in the sort of like cool toned neutral. So these eyeshadows aren't intended to be heavily pigmented colour. They're called Plume, so feather in French, and same as her Plume lip line. And it is all about a hazy colour. Really, really, ideally, the look that you're going to try and achieve is, does she have any eyeshadow on her eye? That's the sentiment of these, which couldn't be further up my street. The first look I'm going to do is using the Bronze d'Or and maybe a bit of the Bois Brulee at the lash line. But I really want to create a real hazy, smoky day eye. I'm thinking in the summer. So inspo-wise, think of like Romy Schneider in La Piscine, where her eyeshadow is all really high up, hazy, and then just around the lash line she has more of a definite sort of darkness to it. I've already prepped my eyelids with these because the premise isn't that they are not going to crease. I've worn them yesterday and there is a tiny bit of creasing that I got, but it's creased in a very nice way, a kind of sexy way, I think. So I'm all down for that, but I'll try and show you at the end of the day what the creasing looks like. I've already put some prep, I've used the NARS Prep and Prime eyeshadow base. Just with my ring finger, this is the Bronze d'Or, and I'm just going to show you how good this looks just by using fingers. So just start on the centre of your eyelid, but as close to your lashes as you can, always, and then you're just feathering up. So you really can't make a mistake with this, because anything you do, I think, is going to look really hazy, really subtle, and it's going to look good. So that's 2 seconds and the initial colour. Keep going over with your finger and then just gradually sort of moving up. So that's instantly just like a base colour. It's really pretty. I'm going to keep going, but only because I want to bring it up here more, not because I want sort of a deeper colour. Now this time where I put it was sort of on the outer corner, but then underneath the bone in my eye socket. So over the bone in my eye socket. So I want to be able to see the colour. So I don't want the sort of like slight hooding that I've got going on to hide it all. So I'm going to go over the top, quite close to the top of my eyebrow. I mean, these shades, this kind of eyeshadow application just always makes me think of the 60s. So, you know, and in those films that have also been cited as the inspiration for Violette's eyeshadow collection, in those kind of like French cinema, like classics of the 60s, the eyeshadow is all the way sort of up. There's no definite like kind of white that we sort of see in our, like, have in our repertoire that we constantly do. It's very much more like a haze of colour, and it doesn't stop. So I think that's really cool and really flattering. And then if you get any sort of like, you know, when you're using your finger and obviously the skin is older, so that it pulls and you kind of stops where you get kind of like creasing lines where you're placing it, just like flat pat into those lines if you've got any, and then that will just erase that from happening and smudge this product out more. The texture of this is incredibly kind of older eyes friendly, because it isn't thick and it isn't heavy, so you don't get any texture from it at all. You just kind of get the colour. It looks like you spray painted eyeshadow on, to be honest. It's very, very flattering for older eyes. So that's a good start of how that should look as a one and done. So what I'll do now is I'll just put some mascara on, and then we can see what this look would be just as this one and done. Subtle, it's very flattering, lovely for every day. I don't think you need 3 browns like I've got. You just need to choose one. So if I put all of them on, then you can decide whichever one you like best. Next one and done, Bois Brulee, the matte sort of like wood brown colour. Very cool. This is it as a one and done. So again, I use my ring finger personally. Use whatever works for you, but you just tap it on to reveal a sculpted eye look. That is Bois Brulee. So do you see what I mean about the nuances? I don't think you need Bronze D'Or and Bois Brulee, to be honest. Even though, you know, one has a subtle shimmer, this one is pure matte. They're very similar. Last is the one that I'm actually most excited about, which is the Charbon Fume, because it's pretty close to black, but there's not going to be any fallout. So this is so interesting for me. The inspo for this is going to be Anouk Aimée in Un Homme et une Femme, the movie. So I'm going to use the Yeux paint as a liner as well. But let's just first of all see what happens when we just put this on with our ring finger. I'm just going to smudge it very, very close to the lash line. And it doesn't look like eyeshadow at all. That looks just like it's my lashes, and it's like a wonderful shadow from the lashes. This is so French cinema. I can completely get the inspo, and it does exactly what it says it's going to do. This is about light and shade and makeup. It's not about kind of, you know, looking at the makeup. This is the dream. Okay, so let's keep going. I can't believe I'm still using my fingers. This is really cool. So let's just use let's just use my little finger to sort of like get an eye line going. And again, you know, where my eye is wrinkling as I'm touching it, just go back and forth so that you get in all the little lines that are like, you know, sort of appearing as you're touching your skin, but really, really lightly. It looks like I'm hitting my eye, but I'm literally just touching, like tapping the lightest touch. And then just keep doing that. And then just with your sort of like a clean finger, then just smudge along the top of it just to kind of get rid of any line that you've got creating. And that's just an eye look. it's so much easier to wear than black. I love black, but you know, in the day especially, black is, it reads flat and it's harsh. This hazy kind of makeup reads really sexy and perfect for you if you're entering into your French cinema era. Then just keep going sort of over it, just so that it then disappears. Okay, so that's how I would wear the Charbon Fume in the day. And I'm just going to use, because we're doing a bit of a full face with everything that I've got, so we're going to use this Bisou blush. This is in the shade Ines, which is this raspberry ripple type, baby pink and more of a peony pink. It looks like it's going to be quite vibrant, but actually then you use the other side or your finger just to haze it out, word of the video, and create a pink veil. You're not going to get blush blindness with this, and it looks very subtle, but it's very flattering. I think Violette said that this is her favourite shade. It's named after her little child, I think, so it's very cute. On the lip, I'm going to use her Bisou Balm in the shade Calisson. And this is a nude. This is one of the kind of like true nudes that she's got in the collection. So it's a sheer matte veil again. You can put it on like you could put it on with your eyes closed because the whole thing just blurs your lips around. So I'm going to push the eyes a little bit now and see what the Charbon Fume can do over the liner and give it that real French cinema actress look. Violette's Yeux paint. This is in Cafe Serre, which is that really, really deep chocolate colour. So I'm just going to use it as a liner. So I'm going to put it on the back of my hand, get an angle brush, just go along my lash line, really close to my lashes. Interesting, because this Cafe Serre colour, when I wear it alone, I always think of it as a super, super dark brown. But because it's on top of that Charbon Fume, like sort of real dead neutral grey brown, it pulls really red. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's really nice. It looks lovely. I'm just going to take it up a bit, so just a bit more sort of 60s in shape, like that. So I'm just going to leave the eyeliner like that. Like, it's not perfect, but I quite like the kind of broken imperfection of it, really. It sort of fits with the vibe. And then again, let's take the Charbon Fume, and then I'm just going to tap this over the top of the line, even to smoke it out even more. Very, very carefully. And so let's just say, so what I'm going to do is, you see where my eyelid is, you can see the shape of it. So where that shape is, I'm going to come on the inside of that shape, not on the outside, on the inside here, just to create darkness, and then sort of gently pat out the same shape of the wing. But that's just created this like really, really deep looking eyeshadow shade that's just given me so much drama. Wow, that's given me so much drama just from using my finger. And in the daylight, it looks on camera, it looks like super, super smoky, but and I mean, it does in real life, but it, like in daylight, it's sort of got more of the brown nuance to it, whereas on the camera, it kind of really picks up, reads more as black, which, I mean, to be honest, I like both. I'm not sure which one I like more, to be honest, but I'm just sort of pointing out that if you were doing this in the day, you're not going to get any of the harshness that you kind of can get sometimes from using black. It's great. I'm going to get some of that darkest colour, and I'm just going to put it along the base of my lashes. Then it just really gives you that kind of cinema smoke. That's the finished Charbon Fume look. End verdict with these, I love them. They are so up my street for my style of makeup. Let me know what you think. Do you think you're going to pick up any of these? If you are, like, what colour are you going to go for? Because would it be one of these three, or are you going to go for something more adventurous? Let me know, because obviously I'm really now thinking about getting some more, and I'd love to know your opinion. I'll do a little check-in when I come back later on. So we've done a sort of full day wear, and I'll show you the level of creasing just so you can have a look, because I know a lot of people struggle with that. I'm one included. But I'll show you what the creasing looks like on this so you can make a decision for yourself. Hope you found that useful. Thank you so much as always for watching, and hope to see you back on my channel next week. And just to close off the day, so I've worn this all day, and this is the sort of creasing which actually doesn't make any visible lines. It just kind of fades, I would say. But it still looks perfectly presentable overall. So hope you found that helpful, and see you next week.